So the options are how I won the European Championship, recycling's a waste, my experience of leaving my family and home country, and the Hamza River. It's an underwater river in Brazil. Joy, what do you choose?
Okay, my choice for you is my experience of leaving my family and home country.
Good morning, everybody. Although we're all at home again now, we all have finally made one of the most important experiences and decisions in our lives, which is moving out of our parents' homes. I understand that this is a challenging time for many of you and is combined with a lot of homesickness and other struggles, but which I know from personal experience, they're all going to be gone soon. I personally left my family at a little earlier than most kids. In 2016, I chose to leave my home country of Austria for a foreign exchange year, which I started in southern Indiana for a year. Then I continued to pursue my secondary education at a boarding school in northeast Georgia. Now this journey has finally brought me to Wisconsin, where I hope to be for the next 4 years. As already mentioned earlier, this whole journey started as a foreign exchange year in southern Indiana. It was supposed to only take 1 year, and then I would return back home. Knowing I wanted to stay in the United States though, and trying to fulfill maybe my dream of playing college football at the Division I level, I asked my parents if they could do anything or if I could do anything to somehow stay here. And that's how I found a boarding school in Georgia. The school is very diverse, and the school actually represents over 50 countries in the world. And at the same time, they were looking for football players, so I thought I was a pretty good fit because I was both. But moving to a different continent includes being confronted with many cultural differences. One of the first ones I came to realize was how much faster everything in the United States is. People here are always, or most of the time, in a hurry. There are drive-thrus for everything, or at least for a lot of places, unlike in Europe where no one would ever think of having a drive-thru for, let's say, Starbucks. In restaurants, they bring you the check while you're still eating, which for me, when I first came to the United States, implied that they wanted us to leave so they could only begin serving the next customer. In Europe, people take their time for literally everything they do. Showing up 5 minutes early is ruder than showing up 5 minutes late, actually, and people sit in restaurants for 2+ hours. Drive-thrus are only limited to McDonald's and Burger King, and another great difference that I acclimated to very quickly, though, and still realize I take for granted every time I go back home, is that stores here are open a lot later than in Austria. In Austria, everything except restaurants is closed on Sundays as well, and even during the week, no stores open longer than 8 p.m. On Saturdays, all the stores close at 6 p.m., which makes shopping kind of hard. And the last cultural difference to Austria is that people in the United States, in general, are much more polite than people in Europe. Hearing something like "I'm sorry" or an "excuse me" is a really rare occurrence in Vienna, where I'm from. In conclusion, I think I've made many great memories and experiences in the United States, and I'm grateful for the opportunity that my parents have presented to me. I learned I learned a lot about cultural differences between the two countries and how to change to fit them. And something I learned about life in that period of time is that being by yourself can be very good for you, actually. Leaving Austria so early in life, I was forced to face being alone fast, and not having anyone, or at least not feeling like it, as most of us probably will at some point in life, teaches a person a lot about themselves. So appreciate feeling lonely, and it makes you grow as an individual. Thank you very much.